Hey everybody, what's up?
How come I can't see it over? Oh, there it is. Ah.
Yeah, it's a delay. It's a little bit of a delay. Yeah.
Okay. We're seeing ourselves 5 seconds in the past. Pardon for that. Happy Sunday. Welcome to our podcast, which always starts late if you guys haven't realized. When we say 1 p.m., we really mean like 1:05 to 1:20. When is it now? 1:22. So when we say 1 o'clock, we mean 1:05 to 1:25. So, yeah, thank you for staying with us, whoever's watching. Is there like a person
Thanks for sticking around.
Huh? Thanks for sticking around. Sure.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
So we had a great night of fights last night. Well, a couple of great fights and a couple of mismatches, actually. You could call last night's card kind of the mismatch card of the year so far. I mean, you had like 3 fights that 2 of them kind of thought were going to be, a lot better than they were, and then they just kind of ended up, sucking. Talking, of course, about, fortunately, Anthony Smith versus Rashad Evans, CM Punk versus Phil Jackson, Michael Jackson.
Wait, what? Mike Jackson.
Mike Jackson. I'm sorry, I forgot his first name.
It's not Michael.
And and then also Holly Holm versus Megan Anderson, which I'm really upset about. That was such a mismatch. But yeah, like about 3 fights last night that kind of were like, should they really have been fighting? Are they really on that same level? When it was pretty evident that in those 3 fights they were not. But yeah,
we're gonna kick it off with the early prelims.
The early prelims, we had Dan Ige versus Mike Santiago. We got like a quick. He fucking came out of the gate berserker on his ass. That was freaking nuts. He just came in, started like kind of wailing punches, and took him to the ground, and just started grounding and pounding him like crazy. That guy, I think this was his 2nd fight in the UFC. He lost his debut. So he definitely came out last night with a purpose, ending that in the first round, the first 50 seconds of the fight.
Yeah, he beat the crap out of him. That was very entertaining. Then we had Charles Oliveira and Clay Guida.
Great input. Charles Oliveira defeated Clay Guida by submission guillotine.
Yeah, it was a solid performance by Oliveira. Came in 2 weeks' notice. And that's tough because he's a pretty big dude. He's fought at, although it was a lightweight. Okay, I was thinking featherweight because Clay Guida did drop to featherweight before.
I think Oliveira was
lightweight.
talking about going back down to featherweight. I think he still wants to win the title there. I don't see it happening.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a great submission artist, though. Last night, he tied the most submission wins in the UFC history. He tied with Royce Gracie at 10. So if he gets one more submission finish, he's technically one of the best submission technicians out there. What's going on? We are also streaming live on our...
we're on YouTube. So if you go to live.threequarterguard.com, you will get the full experience.
We didn't make a post about that. That's what we forgot to do because we switched it up last week.
No, I'm just kidding. Hey, we've been really bad with our, marketing and everything. So
yeah, we're like I said, we're still learning. We're still doing our thing. We still have things brewing here and there. But for now, we still like to think that we come to you guys every Sunday at 1 p.m. Moving on to Sergio Pettis.
Pacific. Oh, sorry.
No, well said.
Hey, Sergio Pettis, just Benavidez. So we'll talk a little bit later about this, but the next title fight at 125 has been offered to Henry Cejudo, who's beat both of these guys. So this, I guess, might be the kind of for the next fight, possibly. If TJ's not going to fight DJ. But yeah, so it was the split decision. It was a pretty close matchup between these guys. And I'm saying like they don't, there wasn't like a lot of action or anything because these guys were kind of nullified each other a good amount.
Joseph Benavidez he was going in there and he was definitely like attack. I think going for the in the offense a lot more, but Sergio Pettis countered a lot of his strikes. He actually knocked him down in the first round twice, and after that it seemed like Benavidez started sticking to his wrestling, but Sergio Pettis was able to avoid it and still utilize some of his striking and still utilize some of his counterings and stuff like that. He was able to get a split decision. I don't think that's enough to, I mean, sure,
another title or a title shot.
It's a very I get it. It's a very very it's not a heavy division right now, especially because you got DJ literally mauling everybody and making everybody look levels below him. But I don't think I kind of like, I guess the same thing when William Heiss was going to fight Demetrius. Remember that wrestler Wilson Heiss?
Oh yeah.
I get the same thing. It's kind of like they're good. Sergio Pettis, he's a great fighter. He's definitely a great fighter. Definitely one of the best at flyweight. But it's just Demetrius is levels above everyone else. It just makes it difficult to even see anyone as a match against him. And just, I don't know. Wasn't a championship caliber performance, I would say, from Sergio Pettis, especially if you're going to deal with the kind of champion that Demetrius Johnson is. When you want to fight Demetrius Johnson, you need to be like dominant, and you need to like just do a lot more than he did last night.
Well, I mean, if you're going to say, is that a performance that would, I guess, give you hope that he could put up put up a fight against DJ? Then no, those not really. But I mean, he did what he did. It's the division is just like DJ is just so many, so many levels above these guys. It's just there's no one to really contend with him.
No, makes it hard. It makes it difficult to see anybody as a challenge. Really, I mean, the last person I saw as like a big challenge for him was Henry Cejudo. He fucked him up in the first round. I mean, they got that rematch that was announced yesterday, but we'll get into that a lot later.
Yeah.
But for now, let's move on to the next fight. The I guess featured bout for the Facebook Fight Pass prelims. Anthony Smith.
They don't do Facebook anymore, right?
I
don't think so anymore. I haven't seen that in a while.
I don't know, but Anthony Smith defeats Rashad Evans by KO. Delivered a knee and then a little a hammer fist that probably wasn't necessary, but I think Rashad's done. I think it's
I think it's been enough for a while.
Yeah,
it's just kind of a formality. But yeah, he's lost. I don't know how many of his. This is fact check this. Oh fuck.
But Anthony Smith looked. Actually, you know what? We were talking about this.
Damn, he's lost his last 5.
Damn.
I didn't realize that. I thought it was 4, but yeah, he's lost his last 5.
2 out of 5 were by KO.
What was that? 9. So he's lost the last 7 out of 9.
And the last 3 have been with like prospects, not even with former champions or former title contenders. It's been against Sam Alvey, Daniel Kelly, and now Anthony Smith. But I mean, like I said, I didn't get to see too much of Anthony Smith. He's a big guy though. I didn't know he's like 6'4", and he was fighting at like, what was he fighting at, middleweight or something like that?
Yeah,
like,
middleweight. Yeah.
Why would you do that? You just go to light heavyweight
because he wants to kill, man.
I mean, I'll agree. His physique. He's a long guy. He's a big dude. Like I said, he's 6'4". He doesn't have the most intimidating physique. But I mean, screw that. I mean, like he could still. I mean, if he did what he did to Rashad Evans, I know Rashad Evans is kind of on his way out the door, but that was still a pretty impressive win to a former champion at 53 seconds of the first round. We'll see what happens with Anthony Smith. I'd like to see a lot more from him. Like I said, to see how he would go, let's say, for 5 minutes or even 10 minutes. But that was a great KO from him last night.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I think that Rashad, ever since that mini nog fight, has just looked so off. And his 2 wins were Dan Henderson and Chael Sonnen. It's I think it's time for him to pack it up. I mean, he's had a great career. He's he
knocked out Chuck Liddell.
Tough alum. Took the fucking belt from Chuck. He
didn't. Did he take the belt? No, he took the belt from Forrest Griffin.
Oh, after beating Chuck?
Yeah. I think Chuck. Yeah,
that's right. You're right.
That was like his test before
fight. Yeah, man, he's been around. He's accomplished a lot. I don't think he needs to go through any more punishment.
Or let's see. Moving on now to
the regular prelims.
Fox Sports 1 preliminary cards that were live on Fox Sports 1. Pardon me, I just burped into the microphone. Started off with a fucking heavyweight slobber knocker with Chris De La Rocha, something like that, depending on his country of origin. De La Rocha defeating Rashad Coulter by TKO at 3 minutes and 53 seconds of the second round. And they started off, they were just freaking swinging and wailing at each other in the first round. Were some very, very entertaining fighting. Very Rock'em Robot
slobber knock, bro.
Yes, absolutely.
Slobber knock.
And at first, it looked like Rashad Coulter was getting in there with some shots, but Chris De La Rocha was finding the counters. And then in the second round, Chris De La Rocha was able to get Rashad Coulter down and just beat him with some ground and pound. Rashad, I guess, was either too tired or didn't have the answers to handle Roca's wrestling. But yeah, great showing for Chris De La Roca in a possible fight of the night contender right there. It was a great show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I call it a fight of the night contender. They were fucking tired. These guys, they were dead. I was.
So that first round was pretty friggin' entertaining, though.
Yeah, Rashad Coulter. He's got heart. He's showed it in his past fights, but he's and I was hoping that he was gonna have a little more cardio going into the later round because that was tough. But what's it called? Chris De La Rocha was just pressuring him, and once he got up to the ground, it was like nothing he could do. He was just sitting there. And it was
essentially, I mean, he could have gotten real tired from the whatchamacallit, the first round.
Out.
Yeah, I mean absolutely.
Sure.
I'm sure they both punched themselves out. But like I said, Chris De La Roca, I guess he uses his
wrestling.
He had more in the tank. He had maybe more tools in his arsenal, and he was able to utilize his wrestling in the proper way to get a ground and pound win.
Did you hear Coulter's corner saying? I think it was the end of the first round. They're like that you gotta stop what you're doing. What the fuck was it? It's like you're punching this big Mexican head. It's not work.
That's funny.
He's got a chin.
Yeah,
De La Rocha.
Fucking Mexicans have chins, bro.
He's got a fucking chin on him.
We Hispanics know how to get punched in the face, apparently.
And it was funny because at the end of the fight, it was just I felt like everyone knew kind of what was going to happen. Rashad Coulter was not getting up. And I think the ref was just kind of looking for his opening.
Yeah, essentially.
So when Rocha threw that 4-punch combination,
that was it.
This is ended now.
Some refs are smart. That was a good stoppage, I think, because like we said, Rashad was tired. He was getting the better of the ground and pound, and eventually, if that wouldn't have happened, he probably would have knocked him out and cut him up with some.
We're not sponsored by Schaffer.
Oh, pardon me.
Unless they want to sponsor us, then
yes. Hey, Schaffer, holler at us.
Give us a ring.
But moving on from one tough ass Mexican to another Mexican in a competition against I'm not sure where Mirzad Bektic is from. So
he's like Serbian or Bosnian or something.
Moving on to the next fight, as he went against Ricardo Lamas, and he won in a split decision. An okay fight. It was all right. It wasn't anything. I don't think anything crazy. But yeah, Mirzad beats Bektic by. Excuse me. Bektic beat Lamas by a split decision, and for an alright showing. Claudia Gadelha and Carlos Esparza finally went at it after like 5 years of social media beef. Excuse me, I'm very, very gassy right now. I've been drinking beer, but
bad idea for sure.
They had like some bad blood. Claudia Gadelha has been wanting to fight Carlos Esparza for quite some time. When Carlos Esparza had the belt, I think Gadelha wanted to fight her.
I was very short.
Yeah,
lives.
Yes, it was. But I think Carlos Esparza just has like a lot of not personal problems, but a lot of personal things coming up in her life. So she used to only take like one fight a year kind of thing. Now though, they finally went at it. The first couple of rounds, we saw Claudia Gadelha getting the better of the striking exchange. Carla finished it off, getting like the better of the wrestling. Carla looked a little bit less like she was a little less mess up than Claudia Gadelha, because Carla definitely put more damage on Gadelha while they were on the ground than Gadelha put on Esparza while they were standing up. But they ruled it a split decision victory in Claudia Gadelha's favor.
I was impressed with Carla's stand up. She's looking a lot better. Not so dependent on her wrestling like usually. Like she'll try to go straight for the takedown because I guess
that's true. I mean, it's always good for like a wrestler to find like the opening with that. Like they use their striking to find the wrestling opening, and she was doing that a lot. And,
I felt like she didn't even need to. She knocked down Claudia a couple times.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, definitely. I mean, like before her style was strictly like getting close to you and grabbing you. But like I said, like when you're dealing in MMA, that's entirely different. You need at least some sort of striking basis to at least find your way inside and then utilize your wrestling. Yeah,
I think Claudia was taking her down and going for.
I saw that too.
Round, yeah.
I saw that too. Yeah. That was that, but that I think that was like mostly like in the second round. She was getting the better at. I think at one point
it was later in the fight that Claudia was really like, she really wanted to win that fight.
I remember Esparza was, I think she even reversed like a takedown from Claudia. She was like on the bottom and then ended up on top or something like that. I could swear I remember something like that. But yeah, split decision win for Gedalia. Hats off to her. I mean, we'll see what happens. I guess she found another, she's up another notch. But her against Rose, is that something that sparked Gedalia?
No, not at all. No.
Not really. Not me neither. I don't think.
I mean, not right now. I don't know, but I don't know what they're gonna do because Rose is beaten Joanna twice. Although the second fight that was very close. It was a lot closer than I expected.
Right.
And Joanna looked good, but I definitely don't think they're gonna give Joanna another title shot right away. At least.
No.
So who else is up there? I think. What about Jessica? Jessica Andrade.
I think so. I think Jessica Andrade could do great at flyweight, but I mean, if she keeps wanting to cut down to strawweight and she can do it, and keep it manageable.
She just beat Tisha.
Absolutely, but
and she had just beaten Claudia before. I feel like she's the only real fight right now.
Strawweight rankings right now because it's.
I think
true. I can't really think of anybody. It's kind of like the middleweight division right now.
Middleweight stuff. It's like you got somebody who's kind of beaten everybody else. No one's really on a winning streak. But Andrade it's got 2 in a row.
Right.
After losing to Joanna in the last fight. Who's Joanna gonna fight? Because Joanna's fought Claudia already twice. But wait, did she lose I think she lost to Claudia in the first fight, no? I think 1-1.
Rose?
No, Joanna. Oh no, she lost twice.
Yeah, she lost twice in a row.
A split.
It was just it's because it was a split decision. That's why I was like, oh, maybe we could run it back. And I was like, nah, it's fine. Not really.
Interesting.
We did run it back, and then nothing happened.
Fuck, who could Joanna fight? Maybe Joanna could have a rematch with Carolina. Maybe, I don't know.
What happened?
Joanna maybe a fight with Carolina.
Actually, yeah, that's true. And who's? Oh wow, we're forgetting Carolina.
Yeah.
Did you just say
Yeah, maybe she has a rematch with her. That was a half decent fight. That first one of them.
Yeah, you had Tisha Torres win. Carolina right now, I guess, is coming off of a win. It's just really like all over the place. I mean, we got Tatiana Suarez who just got up to the in the rankings. Remember, she won the Tough.
Yeah,
that one, and she's number 9 right now. I'm sure she's like maybe one away from. She could be one away from getting a title shot. I mean, because like you said, there's so many. There's just the win-loss and the MMA math right now isn't really making sense. But I mean, we'll see what happens. Right now, I don't think there's like a clear-cut number 1 contender for the strawweight strap. So, and Rose just beat the fucking Boogie Woman twice, so I think she deserved a little bit of a time off. But yeah, going from not lackluster, not so deserving performances for a title shot. We go to the featured bout of the preliminary card. Curtis Blades defeats Alistair.
What?
The featured bout of the preliminary
card. No, he's saying not the earning of Natasha? Who you know?
Gedalia. Just because like the win.
No, but you're saying like moving on from that was one of the. I thought that was a segue like someone else. Like
no. Somebody who does.
Alistair.
I was going to say somebody who does. Blades? Like I was because I was saying moving. Well, no, not a title shot, but like more so an impressive performance. You like freaking knocked down and knocked out Alistair Overeem with elbows and ground and pound.
It took him a little bit.
But he definitely it was
back and forth.
Third round to about 2, like almost 3 minutes in the third round. It did take him a bit, but I mean he was finding his footing. And in the heavyweight division, anybody who can get a finish in the third round is actually a pretty that's got to be a pretty good fighter.
He looked good. He's coming up. He's a young guy. And. So, yeah, I mean, the heavyweight division needs some life. And
he was looking great last night, too. His physique, he looked like he lost a lot of weight. He looked like his cardio was up. He was in there. He had his confidence going. Curtis Blades never looked better than he did yesterday, defeating Alistair Overeem. And, it's exciting to just have, like, a new prospect coming into, like we said, the heavyweight division. But yeah, Alistair was, he was ready for him. Alistair was definitely trying to keep the distance, trying to keep it up with the striking. Curtis Blades kept moving in on him, though. He had that striking. He was, whenever he would get a shot, he would always go for a takedown. Third round, he was able to get one, and he moved in with the elbows. Cut the fuck out of Alistair's face.
Yeah, those elbows are rough, man.
That's just scarred tissue now on his forehead.
They came in pairs, and it just was each one was just worse than the other.
Yeah,
that was definitely that was a knockout. That he was not getting up after.
No, he definitely like, whoa, what happened? Elbow? Why is that in my face? What am I doing?
All right, so let's jump into the main card.
Great showing by Curtis
Started
Blades.
with Mike Jackson for CM Punk. Your buddy, CM Punk, former WWE champion. CM Punk came into the UFC, I think maybe 2 years ago. Fought Mickey Gall. Got just outclassed. But the thing is, the CM Punk, you come into professional sport at the age of like 37, 38, and you want to get into, start doing scrimmages in your backyard and then go for the NFL. It's not going to work. It's like you got to work your way up. But he kind of jumped into the lines then and didn't work out too well. So he went back to the drawing board, came back a couple years later, fought Mike Jackson, the guy who actually lost to Mickey Gall to get the chance to fight CM Punk the first time. And this time didn't work out any better. I mean, it was a little better. He made it to the judges. Yeah. You're right. Seem very depressed.
We can move on whenever you want to move on. I'm just gonna let you handle this one.
Eric's kind of is distraught about the turnout here. I think everyone expected CM Punk.
I know, but it's still to see it happen.
But also the performance of Mike Jackson. I guess no one's too impressed.
He looked like that's the thing. He looked like he could have finished the fight like a couple times. It looked like he was showboating, and he even took a selfie of himself when he won.
Yeah. You didn't deserve a selfie after a performance like that.
Anthony Smith deserved a selfie.
But
Curtis Blades deserved a selfie.
Right, get those men that's Metro PCS phone. They can take it's got knockout coverage, apparently.
To your credit and what you're saying, CM Punk, just you got all that money, bro. Just chill, man. If you don't like wrestling anymore, it's all good. But I mean, I don't want to say. I mean, you could. I don't want to be the kind of person that says never say never, and I don't want to be the kind of person that like shits on someone's dreams, like, oh, I want to be a UFC fighter. Hey, do you? But when the evidence is right there, it's kind of like, well, you either move down or you switch something up, or you got to do something, because whatever you're doing right now, it's not working. It's not working in the slightest. And we'll guess we'll see what happens from here. I mean, he's either gonna fight again, but not in the UFC, so that'll be in like some smaller promotion.
He's not. I don't think he should.
I mean, right now, who knows what he's thinking right now?
He wanted to prove this to himself or do this for himself. It just didn't work out. I think this is it. Let's call it. Like why?
I mean, I know, because like I said, I've known him from wrestling, so I know he can be a kind of a stubborn, prideful individual.
Which is why he took the second fight.
Especially when he thinks he's like, no, like, there's a chance, blah, blah, and this and that. And like, hey, that's all well and good. Keep doing that. But then, I mean, I feel like I said, at this point in this, maybe like think about other people. Think about like,
us having to watch it.
Think about me.
I
don't want to tell another man to like think about his wife. I feel like that's disrespectful, because if somebody told me to do that, I'd be like, go fuck your mother. But just the people in your life and the people like that other than you just wanting to go in there and getting fucked up for 15 minutes by some guy, and like just look at other ventures. Look at other things you want to do.
Yeah. But listen, it is what it is. I think it's done. It's over. Dana White was not too impressed by Mike Jackson.
He wasn't impressed by anybody.
He said that he will never fight in the UFC. He wouldn't put him on a fight pass card.
He was kind of showboating a bit, and he it's kind of like you don't showboat in the UFC unless you're like at a McGregor level, or like a Jones level, or even a Colby Covington at this point. But it's like you're fighting a celebrity, a professional wrestler who's having a second fight, and he's just been training in UFC for like 3 years. Not to mention he's had a lot of legal issues in the past year and a half. But
No, I mean,
he should have just like made him. If he really wanted to have a good showing, he would have beat CM Punk in the first round, done what Mickey Gall did, because at least Mickey Gall after that got another fight, and Mickey Gall was able to like move his way up on the UFC ladder. But this way, like Mike Jackson did not impress anybody.
I think it's okay to showboat if it's entertaining. Like if you know if you're like Michael Venom Page, but I mean you're out there and you're fucking got the moves,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
You're
but I mean
you're knocking people out.
When you get to a point, I mean, hey, maybe this is just me because I love CM Punk, but when you get to a point where you're like it's a clear mismatch, and you're kind of just there toying with your opponent, a la Anderson Silva in the middleweight division before he like fought Chael Sonnen and stuff like that. Whenever he used to showboat with like Damian Maia and all these other people. Like, even then, it's, like, annoying. You're not even at that level, and you're going to be, Well,
I guess the difference, because it was, like, you're showboating, and then you're not really trying to finish the fight, where I guess, like, someone like Michael Venom Page is, like, you're kind of showboating, but it's kind of a show.
He's
but you're
different,
going for the knockout. Like,
exactly.
Still, like, you're
exactly.
Going for it.
He was just, like, kind of on top, and he just kept, like, what was it, half guard or something like that on him the whole time?
And he was, like, pulling his fists up, and he was, like, smacking him.
Like, what are you doing, boy? What are you doing? This ain't fucking Bellator. Get out of here with that noise. No offense to Bellator. But yeah, dude.
Bellator. Send us tickets. All right. Anyway, but yeah, we can
moving on. Let's move on. Thank God.
Tuivasa Arlovsky, young Tuivasa.
That was a rough fight. That was more like a very gritty fight, should I say? Not a rough fight. Like
a little back and forth, bloody.
Back and forth. Yeah. Tuivasa got the decision, the unanimous win over Arlovsky. He was getting hit though. Arlovsky was throwing a couple of shots at Tuivasa, and he was fucking eating him up, and. Yeah, what really like highlighted this fight though was what he did at the end, with the shoe.
Oh, the shoey, yeah, it's a beautiful celebration by those down under.
He did like two of those.
Yeah, they take a used shoe off of someone's foot, fill it with beer, and chug it. He did it twice, and it was beautiful.
I'm pretty sure he didn't.
He actually tried to do Joe Rogan. He's trying to convince Joe Rogan to take a shoe off.
That's disgusting. No, he's like, I don't know why you guys do that. That's gross. He was right. But yeah, great showing for Tuivasa. We'll see what's coming up for him in the heavyweight division. Maybe him and Curtis Blades will fight soon. Maybe he'll fight Chris De La Roca. I don't know. But it's an exciting time for the heavyweight division. We got a lot of young people coming in, winning fights, and we'll see how it progresses.
Yeah, and then after that was Holly Holm, Megan. You say Megan, but it looks like Megan.
It's spelled like Megan, but it's Megan. Once again, another I feel like mismatch, unfortunate mismatch.
Not on paper though. No, you wouldn't think so on paper. I mean, kind of just because of like from experience, but as far as skill wise, and we saw from Megan when she started the fight, she was actually very crisp with her.
She was using her reach definitely to her advantage. But
she's big.
She's big, but she's not ready for that MMA style. She's not ready for that UFC caliber.
She clearly is not as well rounded as she needs to be.
She needs to be better at wrestling, and she's big. She
huge.
Even got slightly good at wrestling. It's almost like I'm not to say that going completely off topic, we're going to somebody else like John Jones as his wrestling. Not to say that it's not good, but the fact that he's big and lanky really helps out in the wrestling game for him. And I mean, Megan has that. She can definitely learn some wrestling from somebody, some proper wrestling. She can friggin' utilize that shit with her size and like definitely get better from this. But I mean,
on a fight like that, if she could have prevented the takedown or at least been able to get up, she would. I feel like she might have taken the fight. It looked like she was out striking Holly on the feet, and or at least landing the more significant strikes. But when she got to the ground, she couldn't get up really. So
it seemed like she was going, when you could tell the way she was defending the takedown that, like I said, she kind of didn't really know what she was doing, and
her
to a much smaller
they were
fighter.
Trying to coach her. And it worked a little bit. Like you had Krause screaming at her to wall walk. As soon as he did that, she was doing it and got up.
She's really good. Yeah, it seemed like she was really good at following direction in the octagon, which is good because sometimes your coaches see something you don't see, and if you follow that direction, good, bam, you can definitely win a fight through that. But I think just her training in general and just like what she trains, her ground game just needs to get a lot better before she. Yeah, it goes up there. I honestly thought the talent we're seeing in the UFC, this young talent, sometimes like they jump levels from one fight to another. I thought we were going to see something like that from Megan. Fortunately, we did not. Maybe Holly Holmes is just that freaking good that maybe she got that much better, and maybe she's ready for Chris Cyborg because Holly Holmes didn't look other than those shots that Megan landed early. those like that knee and that crisp straight jab. Holly Holm was looking really good last night. Her wrestling was there. Like, I know she wasn't using too much of her striking, but she definitely knew what to utilize to beat Megan. She did that.
Yeah.
But I mean, is she ready for? Is anyone ready for Cyborg?
I don't think so. Unless it's Nunes. Apparently, Nunes though, there's a gas shortage in her town in Brazil, and she's not able to leave her town.
Cyborg.
No, it's Nunes.
You sure?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. So she's not able to leave. So okay. I mean, I don't know, but the whole thing with that is like that doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, you're a millionaire, right? Just give somebody a couple bucks, go get you some.
I don't think they're like millionaires. I think they're like maybe 100,000.
They got enough money where they can be like, hey, can somebody give me some gas? Because I need to go and make $1 million fight against Cyborg. Like, you know what I mean?
This is true.
I guess. But I don't want to start saying like anybody's scared or worried, but I'm sure she's not in no rush to go fight Cyborg. So
I think she wants to. I think they both kind of want the fight. I mean, it's going to happen. Hopefully,
if they want it. They can make it happen.
Imagine if Nunes wins the featherweight belt, it's kind of going to null and void that division. Because then it's like Nunes will be like, I want to fight a bantamweight.
That's such a weird division.
Featherweight belt. Nah.
It's literally a division where you can't even fill the rankings at this point.
Right at this point, yeah.
Hey, even with tough, do they have? I don't know how many people are on that roster, but are they going to be able to fill the rankings? Even if they take every single person with like the last, like the person losing the first round versus, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
It doesn't compute.
I don't think they have a roster.
The women's featherweight division does not compute. They have like 5 people in their roster.
So far on the.
Yeah, let's do something.
I'm curious to see, like, I mean, I'm sure they have a plan, like, all right, it's going to be X amount of fighters. So what season is it now?
All the way down. You got to go all
okay, so we're on 26. Oh, no. That was the last one. So we're on 27, so it's 28.
Yeah. Wait, no, because the Smashes was...
That was old. No, but season 26 was last season.
Right, yeah.
With Nico. Yeah, heavyweights and featherweights.
I mean, it's going to be entertaining, though. It's definitely going to be entertaining TV. We're going to see motherfuckers knock each other out. Big motherfuckers knocking each other out.
So, yeah, I don't even... Because you would need... even if you include the only 3 people that are in the division currently, you need 12 other people to fill the rankings.
And Joanne Duramny, I'm not even counting her as a person anymore. As a fighter in the UFC, just because she's...
Damn. Harsh.
Well, I mean, she hasn't fought in a while. She kind of
dicked it over. It doesn't really make sense.
Eat it, lady.
All right.
Moving on now.
On to Colby Covington, RDA.
The interim champion.
Making the welterweight division great again.
This motherfucker.
Talking all the shit.
I mean, damn, yo. Like, I thought Dos Anjos was gonna like at least pull something like, holy shit, Dos Anjos is stronger than the motherfucker in the welterweight division, but Covington shut him down. Covington put on that striking game, put on the wrestling. I mean, he was just getting the better of the exchanges, and then his transitions into the grappling and the wrestling were just on point, and that was the game he played. But just, goddamn it, it's that fighting style that's so
very difficult to deal with.
Annoying. Yeah, it's so annoying.
It's a little annoying to watch too.
It's annoying to watch. It's annoying to deal with.
Fun as fight.
It's not. Yes, absolutely not. And I don't think he gives a shit. He doesn't care.
No, he's going on. He doesn't give a shit. He wants to take that belt and put it on Donald Trump's desk. That's been his journey, and he's trying to accomplish that. Apparently, Dana White said he could set that up too. So.
Damn. Yeah, he's gonna try to give that redheaded fuck the goddamn title. Damn it.
It's a fighting style where it's constant pressure. He's not like throwing big strikes or anything. He's throwing enough to distract you and then get you in a clinch and hopefully take you down.
Tito Ortiz and ground and pound your ass. It is. It's absolutely.
But his ground pound isn't all that great or anything. It's like, but the thing with RDA too, he's kind of playing into it. RDA kept backing up, kept getting himself against the fence, wasn't circling, but
I mean, he just kept putting him up against the fence.
Yeah,
a lot of the times.
I was screaming at the television. I was like, RDA, just like circle. He's doing the same thing to you every time.
And he just, I don't know, that fucking pressure, dude.
I think RDA hit him with a couple of decent shots. I think if it weren't for that pressure, if it weren't for that that clinch, then he would have been able to do some damage. But he just barely had the opportunity there.
Yeah,
but it was a close fight. It could have really gone either way.
Right. It could have. But
for me, I guess it was kind of clear that Covington won, even if just for the fact that the octagon control, the aggression, the clinch, the takedowns, And I think it worked way more in his favor.
I mean, Dos Santos got better exchanges in certain fights, but the fact that Covington dominated the clinch and the center of the octagon a lot more was not enough to win him, but enough to oversee Dos Santos.
He looks so good against Robbie.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I was hoping to see.
What does that say about Covington?
Yeah, but you know what? I really do not think that style is going to work against T. Wood.
No, absolutely. No.
Work.
Simon Woodley's got that explosiveness to him, and he might be able to turn that style around on Covington and use it on him.
He's a way better wrestler, I think.
This is actually. I feel like we were wondering why. Well, not wondering why, but we were saying that Colby Covington was getting a title shot for the interim title. After getting 4 wins, his only great win was against Damian Maia. And you got all these freaking monsters and all these people and these great fighters in the welterweight division right now. And they gave him the title shot. This was definitely, I feel like, a great marketing ploy by the UFC because now you got Covington as the interim champion, and Tyron Woodley, the champion that people probably dislike the most, probably everyone's least favorite champion in the UFC, is now the hero. He's gonna shut down this. He's gonna make him a little more likable. All that shit, Colby Covington.
Say every hero needs a villain.
Yeah, man. And, there you go.
Everyone just thought T. Wood.
The UFC created the perfect villain for T. Wood, and I'm excited for him.
It's gonna start a race war. That's what it's gonna do.
And T. Wood is the hero.
Yeah.
It only spells good for the UFC and their marketing in the future for this fight. But yeah, hats off to Colby Covington for a unanimous decision win over Rafael dos Anjos. You son of a bitch, you.
Yep. And the main event of the evening, Robert Whittaker against Raul Romero.
I'm kind of happy about that. Very happy about that. Just because Yoel didn't make the weight. I know he was off by 0.2 pounds, but
everything's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens now. Romero might need to go up to light heavyweight, which is pretty good because, I mean, it does open up doors to a lot more fights, a lot more exciting fights in the light heavyweight division. He still had a great showing, though. He had a great showing last night. It's not like he slowed down.
So he missed weight.
But it wasn't like
that they didn't give him information early enough or something. He said that then the commission stopped him while he was cutting weight.
Here was the thing.
Didn't give him the extra 2 hours or whatever.
And they showed it on the embedded. I think it was maybe 10:40 something or 10:40. We'll say 10:45. 10:45 a.m. when he first did the first weigh in, and then they said he was a pound over. You have 2 hours. Mm-hmm. I think they grabbed him at 12:38 or 12:35
because he weighed in twice.
Yeah, he weighed in twice, but they grabbed him around maybe 12:35, 12:30 to tell him, all right, it's time to bring you in, because they were all right, we got to get you downstairs by 12:45 because that's 2 hours. But there was that literally
miscommunication or something.
Well, no, not even. It was 10 minutes.
Oh, they needed an extra 10 minutes?
Yeah, he's not going to cut 0.2 pounds in 10 minutes. It's not going to happen. That's what they're complaining about. Yoel Romero's camp. They're pissed off because they're oh, we didn't have the full 2 hours. Yeah, but you had an hour and 45, not to mention 6 to 8 weeks of training.
They were saying that they cut him off, that they weren't going to let him continue to cut weight. So, but at what point in there, because he weighed in twice. So at what point in there did he, you get 2 hours, you don't get more than that.
At 10:45, essentially, at 10:45, the commission started the clock for him to lose the extra pound. But then, instead of coming to him at 12:45, they came to him 12:30, 12:25, maybe 15, 20 minutes before he had to come in for the weigh-ins, because they were all right, we need you to start walking down now. We need you to start being there because you need to be on that scale by 12:45. That's their thing, because they literally cut off his cut weight, his cut weight by 15 or 20 minutes. That's what they're complaining about.
But there's nothing to complain about. I don't know. It seems silly, but anyway,
there you go. Absolutely. They're being very literal. Remember that kick yesterday? Remember Whittaker kind of got a low kick that grazed him?
Yeah, but that's his
Absolutely.
He's a little dirty. If he sees
that's what I'm talking about, dude.
Opportunity to get something, he'll do it. So
he saw an opportunity because he's like, oh, but I thought we had 2 hours. It's only been an hour and 50 minutes. Like, you still need to give us 10 more minutes. He used that as an excuse.
So like
dude.
That kick,
he does that a lot. It's kind of like
maybe grazed his dick, maybe. But I think honestly, it like
grazed the
I think he kicked
so
him in I think he kicked him more like in the waistline, and it like pulled up his shorts, so maybe it looked like he got kicked, but it was really nothing. But he was ready to take 5 minutes. He didn't take. He took more like 2 minutes.
He was standing around for like 3 minutes, and like he looked fine.
He
was literally just there standing around for a minute, like forgetting like what was I doing again?
He's getting
making my dick works, and then looking down like
move my legs around.
No, it still hurts. Like, come on, dude. We all saw what he was doing. We've seen it happen before. We literally heard what he was doing with his second weigh-ins. Like it just he does it. He does it sometimes. You can't even say anything about him. Like it's just.
He plays the game. He's trying to play the game.
He plays the game, yeah, man. Sometimes the game plays you, sometimes you play the game, and that's what he was trying to do.
So he looked, but he did look good.
He looked good. He didn't look like he missed a step like that.
He definitely lost the first
Whitaker
two.
definitely learned from the first
lost the third, right? It came down to the fourth and fifth. One of them, and everyone's saying too that they thought. I think it was
the fourth round. I think the fourth round. No, yeah, it might have been
the fifth. Was a 10-8?
Where
the fourth or the fifth was 10-8.
Well,
I think it was the fifth.
In one of the rounds, Joel did knock down Whitaker. Remember that? He knocked him down.
Yeah, well, in 2 rounds, and the fourth and fifth. I think the fourth, Whitaker actually outstruck him.
Yeah,
but the more significant strikes came from Romero,
Whitaker,
and he knocked him down.
Yep.
That was scary.
I was like, whoa.
Had there been an extra minute on that clock, I don't know what would happen.
Fucked him up because Whitaker was like dazed up until the end of that round. He needed that minute between 4 and 5 to fucking compose himself. Essentially, that was a tough fight though. That was definitely a good fight. Fight of the night, definitely. And what happens now? Romero
did get tired, but I felt like his cardio was a little better though.
Oh, and I actually also remembered that Whitaker broke his hand in the first round.
Third round
happened. No, he said. Oh, I thought third round. Okay, that's already happened twice, where Whitaker gets injured.
It was
fighting Yoel Romero.
I thought he hurt his foot. I kept seeing him kick his foot up, and I was like, "What is he doing?"
No. Well, it was his hand though. He broke his hand. There's like an X-ray of that and everything.
So, I know, but it was like a weird thing he kept doing, and he kept like standing on his foot and then kind of kicking it out. I wouldn't be just surprised if we saw like something was up with his foot later. But
I don't know. I feel like Romero is just kind of not like he's a dirty fighter, but sometimes because of his explosive style and his like all over the place dangliness, like he'll hold on to a limb or two, and like somebody's shoulder will like pop out because Yoel wouldn't let go of that arm or something like that just because of his fucking scrambly demeanor.
He did grab his hand a couple of times.
He did grab his hand a couple of times. I was going to say that. He grabbed his hand a couple of times. I don't know, dude. Just sometimes like he's a great athlete. He's a great fighter, but it's very obvious that he just bends the rules sometimes.
Well, some people had the fight for him, but I don't know where this leaves him in that division because it's going to be for the UFC brass. They're not going to want to put him on main event.
At least not a middleweight.
They don't know if you're going to make weight.
At least not a middleweight. I wouldn't like.
But
I wouldn't trust him to make
middleweight.
You already did it twice in 2 freaking title matches. Well, I mean, if this was
the first time in the UFC,
if this was a regular middleweight bout, he would have made weight. He would have been okay, and that's like all right, fine, because they give you that 1 pound thing. Championship fights, you got to weigh 185. But I mean, they're gonna see what happens.
He's getting old, man. He's 41. Not too many fighters go that far. But I mean, not too many fighters look like that at 41. These, again, they look impressive. But they're not going to be rushing to put him in a main.
You forgot to move on with the
oh snap! I'm sorry, guys. We got a couple fights out here. Anyway, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm sure Albie won't pick up on it.
Is anyone watching us on live?
We got one person.
Yeah.
So
all in all, great couple of fights.
But who's
like
next?
I said, some mismatches.
Who's next for Whitaker?
I don't know. I mean, his hand is broken, so he's out for at least 6 months.
He's out for the rest. Kind of fucked.
I mean, right now,
Rockhold's leaving.
Yeah, I mean,
Souza,
Weidman,
I think, is probably retired.
Yeah, Weidman got to win. Gastelum got to win. I think We're looking at Gastelum right now, but I think like Dana White said something yesterday during his post fight press conference that Kevin Gastelum is dealing with some personal stuff.
Issues? That's why I couldn't be
some
the backup
personal
for this
stuff
fight.
he needs to deal with. But I'm telling you, I feel like Dana White said it with a particular tone. I think something's going on with Gastelum. I don't know what it is, but he's got some personal shit going on that is cutting into his training. Apparently.
What about Gastelum Weidman too? What about a rematch? Weidman.
I guess.
I think Gastelum should have won the Weidman fight. I think if they fight again, he wins. Personally, I think Gastelum looks a lot better. I think if either the two of them, will get a title shot, it would be Gastelum. But I think maybe it makes sense if there's going to be an extended layoff for Whitaker. Maybe they have a rematch. Makes sense.
Middleweight right now is kind of looking like the women's strawweight division. There's like a lot of great fighters, but no clear number one contender. There's like maybe like one or two fights necessary before we see like, all right, who's ready for a title shot? Who's ready to take on the new champ Whitaker and see if they take him off of his throne. But yeah. I mean, still great night of fights. Kobe Covington and Whitaker walking away with belts.
That was such a weird thing at the end of the Whitaker Romero fight because honestly, it could have gone either way. A lot of people had Romero win.
Yeah, I thought it could have gone either way too, and it was a close split decision. It was a 48-47.
You see Dana White in the back holding the belt, and I'm like, it doesn't matter who wins. He's going to put that around Whitaker's waist. So it's just so awkward if they were to like, and your winner, Yoel Romero, and then Dana White has to go behind the guy who doesn't have his hand raised.
What if he gave Romero the belt?
By accident?
No, Dana White never officially said Romero wouldn't win the belt if he won.
No, the commission won't let you.
Yeah, but I mean, remember what happened with Iaquinta? Remember the whole thing with Iaquinta when he was like 156 also. He wasn't like he wasn't or something happened
he wouldn't have
won the belt essentially. He wouldn't have won the belt because he wasn't a ranked opponent. So they didn't want so they said he's the
No, that was somebody else.
No, that was Iaquinta. Remember?
He's ranked.
But then there was a reason why they didn't want to give him the title.
No, I think it was the Paul Felder. He was ranked too low. I think they said he wasn't ranked high enough.
But no, there was a reason why they.
Why did the commission even get it? How can they even say that? Like, what is their?
It had to be a particular pound, a particular percent. Like
no, but the ranking, like, what is? First of all, that whole thing. A lot of people have their qualms with.
No. Well, what I was trying to get to was the fact that there was a reason why that the commission wasn't going to recognize Iaquinta as the champion if he beat Khabib. But Dana White said if Iaquinta wins, he's the champion in the UFC's eyes. So the Dana White would have given him the title anyway. I think they were going to do the same. Yeah, he said that. He said that when Iaquinta went against Khabib.
They would have 1,000% not given it to Romero though. 1,000%.
I mean, I don't know. That's what I mean. Dana White never said that because he was like, "Yeah, it's a championship fight."
Yeah, but you're not going to give the belt to the guy who
never made it clear.
Missed weight 2 title fights in a row.
He never made it clear that he wouldn't have done that.
I don't know. I heard before the fight that it would not be for a title. I think that was part of the stipulation of Whitaker fighting Romero was that he said it wouldn't be a title fight.
Right. Well, I mean,
because he had to agree to that.
That didn't go down that way. Robert Whitaker won, and he got the belt, the split decision win. Second.
So it would have just been really awkward.
Yeah, would have been. It would have been funny. But yeah, both title wins. Another funny tidbit. Holly Holm last night actually mentioned that she wanted to go back down and face Nunes for the belt rather than like face Cyborg next because she thinks bantamweight is her actual home and she wants to win that belt. So
I'm sure she sees
also an interesting tidbit. What?
I think she thinks she has a better chance beating Nunes, which I believe is true too. But.
Damn, throwing that fire for no reason. Why are you throwing shade? Throwing shade Holly Holm's way, making her looking like a scared little lady.
Nah, the preacher's daughter. You fucked me up.
Calling the preacher's daughter Jermaine Durandi. That's what you call her.
No. Relax.
But anyway, great night of fights. UFC 225.
Yeah, and I guess talking about all this weight cutting and all this bullshit. Dana White actually was talking about this a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
they're planning on phasing out the early weigh-ins and moving things back to 4 p.m.
We'll see how that goes.
So there's a couple of numbers here, and I guess this is not actually. I'm not reading this off, but I just remember. I think we were talking about this last week. For the however long they were doing those afternoon weigh-ins, there were I guess what was it? I think there was like a very low percentage, there's only like people that miss weight. It was only like 20% or something like that. Oh, no, it was less than that.
In like, in 10 years or something like that, right?
Yeah,
like
it was
a handful of years. It was like something like that. But then in like the past year or so, like 60 fighters have missed weight. Something like that, right? Like those particular kinds of numbers.
It was something where basically since they moved it, the number has like tripled. And I think this is it. Here we go. So previous weigh-in system. Okay, so this was for it was only for what do you mean for 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
This is only for 2 years.
83 total events occurred with 950 fights.
32 fighters made weight.
That was before the early weigh-ins, right?
That was before, and that was out of 950.
No, that's fights. That's 950 fights.
Yeah, so 32 fighters missed weight out of 950 fights.
So that's what is that like? Then that's like 18. No, that's 1900. So out of 1900 fighters, only 32 fighters missed weight between the years of 2014 and 2016.
And now here, out of 82 total events, 962 fights, 62 fighters missed weight. So double, almost
essentially
double.
Like 19 out of 1924 fighters, yeah, twice
in the last
as many
2 years.
fighters have lost in the last 2 years. I mean, damn, it's not that. I guess it has been more.
I mean, to double it, that's a lot.
Funny enough, but yeah, it has doubled, and I mean, it has fucked up certain main events too, like main fights and stuff like that. I think that's the biggest problem that's been is like even the main fighters of said cards are the ones that are missing weight now, which wasn't a huge problem back from 2014 to 2016.
This is interesting too. So the fighters that did miss weight, the record of those fighters, in those fights were 12 and 15, where so in the last 2 years, 27 and 20. So it's gone from a losing record to a winning record. So maybe there's some kind of like
that extra
benefit.
Weight
you
that
do
they
get
didn't
some
lose. I mean, yeah,
weight the time.
That's less weight you have to replenish. That's also
because I guess because you're
it's
cutting
healthier.
time, like you're cutting weight until let's say 12 something if you need the extra 2 hours.
That's true.
Instead of like 4 or something.
Right.
So you're a lot further removed from the actual fight. Not a lot, but a couple hours at least removed from the fight.
No, yeah, absolutely.
So that's interesting. But it seems like most fighters are in favor of the early weigh-ins.
Is that true? Seems like Dana's lying then again.
No, he was saying numbers don't lie. So he's looking at these stats and saying,
"Oh yeah, okay." I thought he was meant. I thought he said like more fighters want the afternoon prelims.
He might have said something like that. Actually, Ariel Helwani had done a couple like his own kind of survey, and of like all the fighters that he would asked, all of them said that they would prefer the early way. They don't really, I guess, but they really don't have a choice in the matter, right? Because it's not a democracy. It's a
Danocracy.
It's a Danocracy.
It's a Danocracy.
I like that. That's a go.
Pull that out of my ass.
And then announced on last night's broadcast, Ronda Rousey will be joining the UFC Hall of Fame in the modern era wing.
The first woman to be put in the Hall of Fame, Ronda
first woman,
Rousey, and I'd like to applaud her.
Yeah,
good for Ronda Rousey.
Good for you, Ronda.
Well
Rousey.
deserving.
It's a little. My thoughts on it is a little soon. Like she just.
Some
left
could say
UFC a year ago.
I think
she's so young. She's,
I
not
think
that she doesn't deserve it, but just I don't know.
I don't think they would have done it if they absolutely knew for sure that she wasn't going to fight again. I think they have that idea that she's not going to fight again.
She's making those
and
WWE
because
bucks.
and because she's not, then they're just going to like put her in the Hall of Fame right now. Why not?
When is Bisping getting his spot?
I mean, he just retired like 2 months ago. They probably already had like who was going to
the UFC
in
forever.
mind. I mean, maybe they still got people to announce, bro. Still got people to announce.
They put freaking
Take it easy there,
BJ Penn in the
Hall of Fame
while he was still fighting.
They only put. Well, I mean, I think they were trying to do that to like kind of sway him towards.
Yeah,
hey man,
stop
so
fighting.
you're in the Hall of Fame now. You don't need to fight anymore. But BJ Penn was like, "Fuck that, I'm Hawaiian," and you know how they are.
He actually was saying, I think he was talking to someone recently. He was talking about UFC potentially going to Hawaii or whatever. And he's
not anymore. Not for a while now.
If they do, then he's like, I'm there.
It's unfortunate. I mean, it's just what's happening in Hawaii right now. shout outs to anybody dealing with the crap going on in Hawaii.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it's not as bad as.
No, I think the other day, like a
I'm
week
sure it's
ago,
not
maybe like something happened where something erupted and it
so
took out some people.
It's affecting some people, but it's not like it's not a ton. It's not in like the major cities or anything.
Regardless, though, we don't know what's going on down there. Sometimes the media lies to us. There's fake news all around. Maybe it's worse than we think it is. Maybe it's not as bad as we think. But
maybe there is no Hawaii anymore.
Shout outs to anybody dealing with the troubles going on down there. But yeah, no, she's definitely a pioneer in the sport. She's definitely like changed the game. She definitely woke up most of the division and was like, hey, I'm this good and I'm just a judo Olympian. Who's going to be the one to take me out? And I mean, it forced women to get a lot better, and it pushed the bantamweight division. It pushed the strawweight division to be put into the UFC as well as the flyweight, featherweight division. There's no denying that all the developments the women's division have had in the past couple of years have been due to her and her success. I mean, you could say the same thing for Chris Cyborg, but they didn't market Cyborg as much as they marketed Rousey. And Rousey can, like I said, she can literally, when they started the strawweight division, they were literally looking for the strawweight Ronda Rousey. They thought Rose Namajunas was going to be that, but just no disrespect to the champion. Of course, she's like the best strawweight in the world, but she did lose a couple times. She wasn't the undefeated phenom that Ronda Rousey was. But I mean, her tenure in the UFC and just in MMA in general is definitely something to marvel over. Nobody else has gotten 3 straight wins in under a minute, and then 5 straight wins in under a round. Defending her title.
She was dominant. She did
absolutely, and it was honestly all about just finding her kryptonite, and somebody who's
striker.
A powerful striker who had more of an MMA pedigree than she did, more of a striking pedigree as well. Knew what to do.
Had a real boxing coach.
There you go. Damn. And but yeah, not to bring up her previous losses or anything like that. Definitely hands off to Ronda Rousey. Congratulations on that Hall of Fame induction, and well deserved. Absolutely, I would definitely count her as a main pioneer in the sport. They put her in the modern wing.
Yeah, she's a pioneer. I mean, the thing is, I don't think she's necessarily a pioneer. She's a pioneer of women's MMA in the UFC. I wouldn't really call her a pioneer of like women's MMA.
Concurred. I agree. But this is true. We're forgetting about the Gina Carano's, the Sarah Kaufman's, the Misha Tate's.
Misha Tate, yeah.
Yeah.
Roxanne Matafari.
There you go.
I mean, actually kind of in a way, but yeah.
But no, there definitely are a lot of other people that have been around longer than her that definitely paved the way in terms of pioneering status. But regardless, well deserved. Ronda Rousey, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And current WWE star. If you want to catch her on Monday Night Raw. 8 p.m. on the USA Network.
Fuck wrestling.
Damn.
See her on Fox then.
No, that's SmackDown. Get your facts straight.
Okay. I thought it was Raw. I thought it was going to be Raw.
Raw is going to be on USA.
Why isn't Raw the bigger program?
Raw is the bigger program.
Why don't you put that on Fox?
USA wanted it. USA paid him, I think, like $400 million or something like that for the next 4 years or something. Damn. Yeah, it's some big. Yeah, man. Dude, they literally have like an audience of at least 3 million people that tune in every Monday and every Tuesday to watch. That's like their fan base. It includes me, but literally at least 3 million people watching every Monday and Tuesday for like the past 10, 15 years since like the Attitude Era.
Invest in WWE.
Amen.
So yeah, Johnson Cejudo too. That was announced yesterday.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a short segment. So I don't know.
I'm excited to see Demetrius Johnson in the octagon once again, as I always am to see a man like that perform. But it's always kind of Is it
target practice for Demetrius Johnson?
It's the same excitement that I would get when I'd see Anderson Silva fight, which is like, oh well, let's see how fast he beats this guy, or let's see how he beats this guy, or let's see what he does. And usually, every time you said that about Anderson Silva, it's exactly what happened. He finished somebody in impressive fashion. And that's what Demetrius Johnson has been doing from the start of his flyweight career in the UFC. And I love watching that stuff. And, I mean, when you see somebody as dominant as him, probably even more dominant, definitely more dominant, I think, at this point than Silva was during his reign. Just because he's beaten people with so many different things, submissions, striking, all these different things. But it gets to a point where, Sure, you wish he fights somebody of a higher caliber or like somebody who's like the best flyweight, but at this point, it's just like I'm going to see Demetrius Johnson fight. That's all I care about. I don't care who he's fighting. I'm going to see Demetrius Johnson in that octagon, and the greatest of all time and the greatest fighter today doing what he does best, and that's being dominant and growing his legacy.
Yeah, I really hope Henry Cejudo's got some tricks up his sleeve, because if we see in a repeat performance of his last fight with DJ, it's going to be a short night. So.
What's that count now?
That is the count up, I think.
No, it's a countdown. It's going 26, 25.
Oh
no.
It's remaining.
Your phone's about to explode.
No, it's the I think you get a limit on the Instagram story. So if we lose you guys on Instagram,
I think we might. I think we could start it up again though.
Yeah, we could restart it. Dr. M. Kuroga, hi buddy. Ah, crap. Okay, we'll share. And then we're gonna start again. Okay. Wait.
No. You got to slide right.
Video.
Well, hold on. We're just trying to connect to Instagram Live. No. Don't do that. Just no. Swipe right. Swipe the whole page right.
Oh, swipe
the other way. You're swiping down. No, stop doing that. Go to the left.
Swiping, bro.
Swipe right. You go.
Wait.
I hate everything about you.
What are you doing? Oh, what the hell?
Idiot.
You can only do it from the homepage?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, hey, how's it going, guys?
We're back. All right.
Yeah, I mean, we're almost done. But we'll wrap up with a review of UFC Singapore, which is next week at
I was so excited to talk about Mighty Mouse for a couple minutes, but that's fine. He's the greatest.
We always talk about Mighty Mouse.
That's true. He's awesome. Yeah, in a couple of weeks, we got another fight card coming up. UFC Singapore being headlined by Donald Cerrone and Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards trying to make some noise in the lightweight division. Lightweight or welterweight division? Welterweight division.
Yes. By
beating a veteran and Donald Cerrone. And I mean, at this point, yeah, it's Donald Cerrone's kind of become like a
gatekeeper.
Yeah, like a gatekeeper, you would say. Yeah, a little bit, which I think he's fine with, because
he's
as long as he gets fights, Donald Cerrone's always been happy. So I mean, yeah, but he's going against Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards, how's his streak actually? I'm pretty sure he's.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Leon Edwards. He's on a 5-fight win streak in the UFC. He's actually been in the UFC for a while, but hasn't had like any major fights. This is going to be his. He fought Kamaru Usman almost 3 years ago, so that was before Kamaru Usman was really making any noise. So it wasn't really
like outside of the UFC.
No, it was in the UFC. Leon Edwards actually been in the UFC since 2014.
He got a rear naked choke on Albert Tumanov. Probably one of his like much like more better ones. And stuff
I actually didn't know he had this. Look at
but October of 2016. I mean, like his last win was at UFC Fight Nights Werdum versus Volkov, where he beat Peter Sabota.
Yeah, he has 2 records.
Yeah,
he's got fastest, second fastest. I thought it was fastest. Second fastest finish in UFC welterweight history. I think the fastest goes to Dwayne Bang Ludwig.
Yeah, it does.
And then his last fight, his latest finish for a 3-round fight in UFC history.
Oh, and that was like right there at like 4 minutes and 59 seconds of the third round. God damn, I think I remember you guys. Hold on a second.
So yeah, he's been in the UFC for a while. I wouldn't. He's actually only 26. So holy shit, he's actually been fighting in the UFC since he was. I guess I would say holy shit. It's been 4 years. It's been 22. So he's been around for a minute.
Pardon me.
So he's finally just kind of like stringing those wins together enough to get a ranked
guy. Man.
And so hopefully, I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, like we said, we're gonna see. We're gonna see how he's doing against Donald Cerrone. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Another couple fights. Ovince St. Preux going against Tyson Pedro. I'm not sure who Tyson Pedro is. I feel like it's so weird to keep up with all these fighters. But Tyson
OSP.
Pedro,
obviously know OSP.
Huh?
Everyone knows OSP.
Yeah, OSP.
What is his rank? Number 6. And who the fuck? Tyson Pedro isn't ranked. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so. I mean, I think right now they're trying to find prospects right now, so it's hard to. His last loss was against Ilir Latifi, a unanimous decision. That was in 2017. But his last fight against Sabar Bek Safarov, he won by Kimura submission in the first round. Oh, impressive. And Perth, Australia at UFC 221. I guess we'll see what happens with Ovince St. Preux. They put Ovince St. Preux against a lot of these fighters that only have had 1 or 2 wins in the UFC. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's like on purpose or whatever,
That's interesting.
but they kind of have him as a gatekeeper as well. So we'll see what happens with that.
They got Jessica Rose Clark and Jessica Ai.
Jessica Ai with her second fight back
Flyweight.
at flyweight.
First,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's where Jessica Ai shined, was in the flyweight division. And I guess we're going to see what happens in her second fight. Her first fight, she won by decision. That was her first win in the UFC after like a 4 or 5 fight losing streak in the bantamweight division. It was a bad showing. She's back where she belongs, though, at 125. That's where people started paying attention to her in the minor leagues. And we'll see what she happens when she goes against Jessica Rose Clark. Why am I having a hard time remembering who Jessica Rose Clark is? I feel like a dick.
I'm not sure. But then you got Li Jinglang and Daichi Abe. Not really sure who that guy is. Li Jinglang, he's
Li
always
Jiglion.
Whenever they're in
The
China
Leech.
or Singapore, they always put him
I'm pretty
on.
sure he's undefeated in Asia. So no. Actually, I might be wrong. Let
He
me
lost
see.
in Japan.
Yes, he lost in Japan, but I think he's been pretty constantly winning in
He
China.
lost his last fight.
One in
but that was in
China, one in the
Australia.
Philippines. Yeah, he did lose in Japan when he went against Kitai Nakamura.
He's a little inconsistent, but he's got
Little
some
bit.
power.
His fights are always exciting. I think his fights are
Yeah,
very
he puts
exciting.
on a show.
It's always a fun time to see Li Jiglion do his thing. So we'll see what happens when he goes against Daichi Abe or Abe.
What did you Jingliang?
Li Jiglion. I just know it because John Anik knows how to pronounce it.
That's how he says it?
Jiglion.
Jinglion?
Yeah. Jiglion. Yeah.
Sounds like Jinglang.
Jinglion. There's an either.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't think you really said there was like not a sound eye, but like
I didn't know you were born in China.
I was.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So
A southern province.
Chinese, Irish, and Puerto Rican.
No, I was born there. I didn't say I was Chinese.
I
just happen to speak it fluently.
Well, you have stumped me, and now I have nothing to say.
That's right.
Moving on.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of it for us, really.
Yeah.
We got a prelim
So-
card that's got some, not too many familiar names. You got Tsuruto Ishihara, that's from American. What do you call it? What's the? Isn't he?
Alpha Male? Yeah,
He's
Alpha Male.
Alpha Male, right?
Yeah, that guy. He
Yeah,
fights for his bitches.
loves his ladies. Yeah,
Loves his ladies. Fights for his bitches. Makes money for that. And he is going against Peter Yan, bantamweight. Felipe Arantes versus Sung Yedong. Sung Keenan versus Hector Aldana. Yeah, I'll be honest, there's just a lot of these names I'm just not familiar with. Shinsho Anze versus Jake Matthews. I know Jake Matthews, that young guy from Australia. Big fucking kid at welterweight. He could probably be a light heavyweight if he wanted to be. But that's like an exciting fight. At the women's strawweight, we have Yan Jonan versus Vivian Pereira. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know a lot of these names. But it's always a good time when you bring the UFC to Singapore, so I'm sure it's going to be an exciting fight. And that's going to go on. The next card will be going on June 23rd, which just happens to be my birthday.
Oh shit!
So we'll see what happens.
So
that
if you want to
day.
send Eric a big fat dildo, you can send it to PO Box 2865,
Damn.
New York, New York. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn, he was actually saying my real PO box. But yeah, we're we good?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah,
I know
I
you
think-
gotta get running. So
Yeah, we gotta wrap it up a little bit early, guys. I got life to deal with. Thank you for joining us once again on this Sunday at 1 p.m. 3/4 guard MMA podcast is always here for you. That 1 or 2 or 3 people that sometimes join us. And if you ever want to check us out on social media during the week, we're always updating our Instagram.
yeah,
with
check it
new
out at the
fights
bottom.
coming up, news coming up. It's at 3/4guard.com at 3/4guard on Instagram. And if you ever want to check out any of our old episodes, check out our domain 3/4guard.com. Right, you just kind of go there, or
Yeah, I mean, you can actually go from the YouTube. Just click our channel and see our past broadcasts.
Nice. All right. Well, everybody have a lovely Sunday, and we'll see you guys in 7 days. Right?
Yeah,
Right?
That's accurate. Yes.
Okay.
That is 7 days from today.
Cool.
All right. Bye, guys.
Later, cheese.